Yeah, alright. It's double H here as usual. It's me, Half Hope, the Hope's one, the great Hope, the one and only Hope. Yeah, it's me, double to the EH. I know some of you have been wondering. There's been a lot of talk on the forum, aka the forum about, Half Hope, man, where is his review of this Alice in Wonderland, the whole Button thing, Tim Burton. So obviously, on Talkback forum, obviously that's where, Talkback is the hub, www.talkbackworld.net, the Talkback forum link, all there. It's about my affiliation with, or rather my infatuation with Timothy Burton, aka Batman, still the best Batman film made, 100%. You see, guys, I went to go and watch Alice in Wonderland because I liked the trailer. I didn't go and watch it because it's Tim Burton. Same reason why I didn't go and watch Sweeney Todd, because after I saw the trailer for Sweeney Todd, I was like, no, I'm not going to watch it. Okay, I have no affiliation to anyone apart from maybe, let's say, Denzel Washington and Andrew Brown, and maybe Gary Oldman as well. So, from watching the trailer of the Alice in Wonderland, I was like, yeah, this looks interesting. I am going to go and watch it based on the trailer. Based on the trailer of Iron Man 2, I will not go and watch the film because based on the trailer, it doesn't interest me. So for most films, I watch them based on the trailer and the story and what they're offering. So this was offering something interesting, and yes, I was in and I paid my lash, my cash, my sash, my tash to go and watch it. So yeah, first of all, I just want to just give the basic. Obviously, that's just a little backdrop to this whole saga of this review. But let me just give you a background of the story. Okay, Alice in Wonderland, everyone knows this thing. I'll confess, I haven't read any of the Lewis Carroll books, but everybody has pretty much seen the Disney film, the Disney cartoon in 1950s and 1960 something like that. But yeah, everyone knows the Alice story, tumbling down the rabbit hole, aka the whole Matrix thing, the White Rabbit. But obviously this was, I'm not a fan of remakes. I hate remakes, I hate reimaginations, I hate rethinking, I hate them all, I hate all the re's. But this was an interesting plot because this was not just a mere remake. This was many years on, I think this is 6 or something, a few years into the future. I think it was 7 years or something. And it was, Alice has now returned back to Wonderland. And obviously she's a bit older now, and there are obviously aspects of the whole Wonderland thing that she remembers, but she still thinks it's still part of her dream. So when she then returns into Wonderland, Wonderland's been messed up because the Red Queen has taken over the land and everything has been destroyed and it's all really dark and everything. But so Alice is slowly trying to remember why she's here, but when she returns, she's told that there's a prophecy that says that she is to kill the Jabberwocky, the main dragon thing of this Wonderland thing, and she's prophesied to do so. But obviously, she's not been here for like 7 years. If you've not been to a place for 7 cracks, you're a bit like, okay, what Jabberwocky? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just trying to go back to Britain. So that is basically the plot. Is Alice trying to rekindle and remember what she did all those years ago, and having to face up to this prophecy of fighting this Jabberwocky and saving the land of Wonderland that the Red Queen now controls. So yeah, that's the set plot. And I think, the first thing I want to say about this thing is this. It's pretty much 2 points I want to make. The weakest part of this film was the script. Was the screenplay. The script was not that strong. The story was good, the plot was good, but some of the words that were on the page was like, it wasn't that great. The first 10 or so minutes of the film, well, the beginning was good when you saw Alice's paps and all that kind of stuff, that was good. But I think the whole party scene, like the reception for the wedding party scene, that scene, it just seemed like a bit, for me, it didn't really work too well, it didn't really mesh too well. Okay, there were some funny bits here and there, but that bit did not work too well for me. So, but looking at this thing, it's like, I'm always gauging the forums and people's ideas, and it is hard for me to think, if you're a fan of the Alice in Wonderland, especially the imagery. Because remember, I mean, an interesting thing that Tim Burton even said was that the Alice in Wonderland, especially that Disney cartoon, it had no story. It was just like an amalgamation of just events, really strange, cryptic, psychedelic events. But there wasn't really like a plot. There wasn't really like, something to hold on to. There wasn't really like a hook of like, okay, this is what is at stake. This is what needs to be done. It was just like, okay, she just goes into this strange land and just meets all of these strange people, and then just leaves. But I think in this, there's much more of a stronger story. There's something at stake. There is an end goal. There's an end game thing around here. So I think that is what really helps this thing. That's one of the strongest parts of the story. Like they actually gave more of a beginning, middle, end, more of an arc to the Alice saga. But really, image the whole 3D thing. I mean, it was pretty good. It wasn't really that 3D, but I think like, especially when you entered into the Wonderland world for the first time, you're seeing all the little flies coming out, and how it just looks really rich, really colorful. The 3D thing was alright, but I don't feel you need to see it in 3D, like the whole Avatar thing. I don't think you need to see it in 3D to really enjoy this thing. I think like the imagery, the visuals speak for themselves, and even the acting speaks for themselves, but that's another separate thing. But I think for me, like, again, Tim Burton, say what you want, haters. Yeah, all you haters out there, say what you want. The guy is an extremely talented man with a unique talent, with a unique footprint. And people that say, oh, he just does the whole emo, dark thing, if you come out of watching his Alice in Wonderland and say, oh, that is very dark and emo and weird, you're just a hater, and you're just a big fat liar. Because watching that has nothing to do with Edward Scissorhands. It has nothing to do with Sleepy Hollow. It has nothing to do with Batman. It is pretty much its own thing. Like the use of the reds, the greens, all this kind of thing, very, very colorful, but obviously with a little bit of a dark tint. But really, this was a very colorful and lively world, which was not the whole gothic type of what people were probably expecting from Timmy Burton. And I think, just what it looked like. I think this is the first thing that Tim Burton's really handled the whole CG thing, and I think he handled it pretty well. I think like you really felt immersed in the world, and the technology did not really override him. The technology did not control him. He still kept his own artistic license over the technology, because I think with a lot of directors, not naming any names, Louis Leterrier, the technology can pretty much exceed the director, and they just want the CG just to do everything. I think it still felt like if there was a director that was still in control of what was happening in his own film. So yeah, really, I think one of the bits that really left with me was, the characters. Again, Tim Burton, in all of his films, the characters are always very, very well realized, because again, remember, he's the director. He does not write the script. He does not write the words. He just presents the imagery and takes the words and puts the words into the screen, And you look back at Batman Returns. Batman Returns had a crap script. The script was not good. But you look at the Penguin, you look at Catwoman, you look at Batman, the characters were very well realized. And in this as well, the characters were amazing. Easily, pretty much, if you put them up against the characters in the cartoon, they were all better. The Alice in this, even if the words that she was given were a bit awkward, the Alice in this was a lot better than the Alice in the cartoon. There were some times where, her acting felt a bit awkward and a bit too English, a bit too upmarket English, but still, compared to the Alice in the cartoon, she was better. The Mad Hatter in this main thing, man, it's like, I just felt that the script, you could have gone deeper into this very interesting character. And I think what Johnny Depp did with this character was very interesting. He gave him levels, because the Mad Hatter in the cartoon was just like, okay, yeah, alright, he's just a bit mad, and there was nothing to it. But I think with this one, like, the way you felt like, man, this guy is crazy in a very dark kind of way. So there was a much more of a connection. So it wasn't really just like, okay, he's mad, thank you, bye bye, see you later, see you next week. It was more like, okay, he's crazy.